if your dahlia leaves are getting yellow like this, come hang out with me in the garden. I'm going to show you what to do. At this point in the summer, it is the second week of August here, which means our dahlias are to the point that they are producing lots and lots of flowers. And it's really, really normal for them to start getting a little bit yellow on the bottom leaf set. And the reason why it happens is there's like multiple different things that can cause it, but the main thing is that these leaves are down closest to the ground. And so as the days get hotter, it is just baking those leaves. And so it's really normal that they get yellow. If by chance they're starting to show little bits of like brown like this on the leaves, that's a sign that your plant might not be getting enough water. So check to see, is the soil around your plant, is it getting water down there by the tubers? And the easiest way to check is honestly just to dig down. If the soil, here, come over here, babe. So see this? See how the soil right here still looks damp? That's great. That means that there is moisture down there in the dirt. Okay, away from the plant over here, when we start going down, it is dry, dry, dry. If this is what your soil looks like really close to your dahlia over here, then that means that your dahlia is going to need more water. And so that's why, like this one, see how this is getting a little bit crunchy? It's probably because this leaf is out here, it's getting baked. We are just going to take it off. The plant doesn't really need to have that. Now, the other biggest reason why we actually we're going through our whole dahlia patch this week, and we're taking the bottom leaf sets off, because as we take these bottom leaf sets off, and you quite literally just snap them off like that. You want to, here, come here, babe, we'll show them. Okay, so all of these bottom leaf sets like this one, I'm gonna just go like this, and it just if you pull it down, it will just snap off. You don't need to get snips in there. If you have snips in there, you might accidentally cut your main stalk, but you want to go around, and essentially what we're doing is opening up good airflow all around the bottom of the plant. The plant doesn't need these leaves anymore. When it first sprouted and it was first growing, it needed those leaves. That's how it was getting all of its energy. But now it has all of this other growth up here, which is helping the plant to have so much energy. So we can take those bottom leaf sets off, which is now going to open this up down here. And having really good airflow is important for the dahlias because it can help prevent powdery mildew. Powdery mildew quite literally just looks like there's powder all over the leaves. We don't have any in the patch right now, which we're super glad about, but that's why we're going through and we're taking off all of these bottom leaf sets, because we want to prevent it. So this is a really great preventative. If you're noticing already that your patch has powdery mildew, get the leaves off to help have good airflow. And in a video coming up soon, we will show you another couple things that we do to try to prevent it and kind of suppress the powdery mildew. Now, one of the big things is when you take all of these leaves off of your dahlias, now we're looking at them, they look great. It doesn't look like anything is wrong with them, but even still, we don't put these into our compost. We actually put them into our yard waste that gets taken away, because there's a chance that it could have like a fungus or a virus on it, and we don't want that to get into our compost and then get spread over our garden. So when you clean up your dahlias, don't leave all of this debris in your dahlia patch. Get it out of the dahlia patch. And we suggest just getting it out of your garden completely, because a home composter, it just doesn't get hot enough to really kill that, the viruses and the fungus. And so we don't want to put that in there. So all of this is going to go yard waste, bye-bye. Okay, another thing to make sure in your patch right now is that you have some kind of support netting. And we have a really great video all about how we support the dahlias. You don't have to use this netting. There's lots of different ways that you can do it. So we'll put the link to that below. But you want to make sure that you have support, because as the dahlias get taller, and like check out this one, look at how much taller. This is just a naturally tall plant. And this one, I would say, needs more support. So today was super windy, and we were a little concerned that these dahlias were gonna get blown over. So that's what this support helps with, is as your dahlias start to grow and they're producing all of these flowers up here, it gets really top heavy. And without support, this main stalk can literally just break off. When your main stalk breaks off, your dahlia season has been stopped. It's been terminated. You don't want it to break off. So the support helps to keep them up so that they'll be strong and they can keep on blooming. Now, last tip, and then we'll come back for more dahlia fun soon. But as your dahlias begin to bloom, dahlias are super cool because whatever bloom stage you cut it at, that is where it stops. So when you cut your dahlia, you want to make sure that you're happy with, like, do you want it to look like this where it isn't fully opened? Or do you want it to be like this where it has gotten that middle part all the way opened up? Whichever stage you cut it at, that's where it's going to stop. When you put it in water in a vase, it's not going to continue blooming. So you cut the dahlia when you're like, ooh, I'm happy with how it looks. And then you also want to make sure that, okay, like, let's look at these, babe. Especially, we'll see if any of these are doing it yet, but as a dahlia gets tired and as the bloom gets tired, these back petals will begin to fall off really easy. If these are turning brown and they're falling off, it means that the dahlia is almost done. It has spent its life. So you want to get them off and bring them in and enjoy them before they get to that point. But the other thing is that as our dahlia blooms, we love to leave a lot of the blooms on the plants because it just looks so beautiful out here. But on a continual basis, we're coming out, and let me go over here. We'll see if there's, let's find a dahlia that is done. Some of these look like they might be done. Okay. All of these are pretty fresh. Oh, here's one. Okay. When your dahlias are done, so this one is Bishop of York. Doesn't look very impressive right now because none of the blooms are on there, but here's what it looks like when it's happily blooming. As it begins to fade, you want to take these faded flowers off of your plant. If you leave these on your plant, it actually slows down the production of more flowers. So as we take these flowers off, it allows your plant to bloom even more. So here's the cool thing. You can cut as many blooms as you want because the more that you cut the dahlias, the more that your dahlia will bloom. Okay, one last thing about cutting flowers. Because I want to show you this because I know there is a lot of different thoughts in it. Let me find one where it's a good example. Okay, let's do this one right here, babe. Okay, see how there's like one main flower here, and then there's these side blooms right here. Flower farmers will go all the way down to here, and this is where they will cut this flower. When they want this flower, they'll go all the way down and cut it there, even though what that means is they're sacrificing these side blooms. Now, as a gardener, you don't need to do that. Your goal, at least here's my goal as a gardener, is that we would just have our garden full of flowers. And so I will cut that middle bloom out and I just let the side blooms bloom as they're ready. Once the side blooms are done, then I go all the way down here and I cut it down here so that the plant is encouraged. See this right here? See this growth right here? That growth right there is going to turn into new flowers, and it really can't continue to become new flowers until these are done. So it's important that you cut it all the way down there. You wouldn't want to cut this bloom just right here, because then this flower as it grows is going to be super puny. It's not going to be able to get as big as it wants to. So just remember, you can cut short ones, but when that final bloom is done and you're cutting it off, go deep, deep, deep and cut it all the way down here so that your plant can produce bigger stems, bigger flowers, and the more that you cut the flowers, the more blooms you're gonna get. So go have fun in your dahlia patch, go take those bottom leaves off, and we'll be back with more dahlia fun soon.